Hi students, welcome. This is Plus One Computer Application and Computer Science Chapter 1 Part 1 video. Before getting into the video, please do subscribe. So let's see the learning objectives of Chapter 1. Introduction to computers, generations of computers, sixth generation computing, data and information, components of computer, and booting of computer. So in this video we are just going to see few topics, that is introduction to computers, generations of computers, and sixth generation computing. Only these three topics will be discussed in this video. So let's get started with the history. So we all know that father of computer is Charles Babbage. Why he is considered to be father of computer? Because he invented Analytical Engine device. This device was used for calculation. Look at the image of Analytical Engine. This device contained an arithmetic logic unit where the actual calculation takes place, and it also had integrated memory and flow control. So you will be learning about all these terms in detail. So this was the very first device designed with all these features, that is arithmetic and logic unit, flow control, and integrated memory. Memory is used to store the data. So all these concepts led to the development of first general purpose of computer concepts. That is why we consider Charles Babbage as the father of computer. Before the invention of computer, people struggled to store data, they struggled to communicate, and they faced many technical problems. But today, in today's world, computer plays a major role in all the departments. For example, computers are used for education purpose, for research, for tourism, for weather reporting, and so on. This is just an introduction of today's computer and present situation. To know more details about computer, we should know the generations of computer. Start with the journey of generations of computer, and the journey started in the year 1942 and up to 1955 it was termed as first generation. So those device was termed as first generation, and later they did some modification in the year 1955 to 1964, and it was termed as second generation computers. And as the technology develops, they introduced many different products in the year 1964 to 1975, and it was termed as third generation. As days passes, in the year 1975 to 1980, they introduced fourth generations of computer. And later, from 1980 till today, it is fifth generations of computer. I hope you all have seen the device used today. So let's see how was the devices in the first generation. So let's see the first generations of computer. In this first generation of computer, they used vacuum tubes for circuit. Look at the picture. This vacuum tube took entire room to occupy. So let's see about first generation in detail. So from 1942 to 1955, it was said to be first generation of computer. The main component used was vacuum tubes, and actually it was very big in size, so it took one entire room to occupy, and also it consumed more electric power. Since the circuit is made up of vacuum tubes, while working it gets overheated, and due to overheat it generated malfunction. Malfunction means they generated error in output. And in this first generations of computer they used machine language. Machine language is nothing but ones and zeros. And the first generations of computers, ENAC, look at the picture. This is the first generation of computer. Here there is no keyboard, there is no monitor. And this ENAC device weighted about 27 tons, and it consumed 150 watts of electric power. Yes, the size of this device is really big, and it took one entire room to occupy. And later they planned to replace the vacuum tubes by transistor so that the size of the system will be reduced by half. So let's see the second generations of computer. So here in this generation, vacuum tubes was replaced by transistor. So look at the picture. This is the device used in the second generations of computer. So from 1955 to 1964, this period was set as second generation and the main component used was transistor. So first let us check the devices used in this period. Look at the device. Compare the first generation and second generation. Yes, the size of the device is comparatively small. And this devices also generated heat but less heat, and also it consumed less power. And here in this generation they used punch cards for input and print sheet for output. First operating system was developed in this generation and they processed batch processing and multi-programming. Let's see what is batch processing. Users will generate the job using punch cards and they leave this job, that is punch cards, to the card reader, and card reader will schedule the jobs into batches, and later batches will be sent to CPU for the execution. They also used machine language as well as assembly language. And later they introduced third generation. It was during 1964 to 1975. In this generation they replaced transistor by integrated circuit IC. So let us discuss about third generation in detail. It was during 1964 to 75 and this integrated circuit reduced the size of computer even more smaller, and it was faster and more reliable. And this generation introduced monitor and keyboard, and also they used high level languages to execute the programs. So let's see the device used in this generation. So look at the device. It is with a keyboard and monitor. As the technology develops, they introduced more different types of processor and the system size was reduced even more smaller. So let's see the fourth generation of computer. It was during 1975 to 1980. So here integrated circuit was replaced by very large scale integrated circuit. So let's learn more about fourth generation. It was during 1975 to 1980. Here they introduced microprocessor as the main component, that is very large scale integrated circuit. It looks more smaller in size and also it is very fast in process. Microcomputer series such as IBM and Apple were developed. So microcomputer means laptop, desktop, palm top, all set of mobiles, all this comes under microcomputers. Portable computers were introduced. Portable computer means which you can charge and you can take to different places. So let's see the fourth generation computer. Yes, it is a laptop. Now moving on to the next generation, that is fifth generation. It is from 1980 until today, and here very large scale was replaced by ultra large scale integration. So this processor was reduced by size and it is more efficient comparatively. And this ultra large scale integration made the system size even more smaller. And also they introduced parallel processing and they can recognize image and graphics. And in this generation they introduced artificial intelligence and it is able to solve high complex problems including making decision and logic reasoning. Look at the device. Yes, that is a robot. Using artificial intelligence we are able to design robots. An upcoming generation will be sixth generation, that is in the future. And the expectations of sixth generation computings are parallel and distributed computing, developments of robotics, natural language processing. Look at the example of natural language processing. You can talk to the device can understand your voice and the language, and it responds back. This is what natural language processing. And development of voice recognition software. And computers have become smarter, faster, and smaller. So, once again, I repeat the generation year periods. First generation was from 1942 to 1955. Second generation was from 1952 to 64. And third generation was from 1964 to 75. Fourth generation was from 1975 to 1980. And finally, the fifth generation is from 1980 till today. And finally, sixth generation is in future. That's all for today, and thanks for watching.